Welcome to the DIY Honda Garage channel. The Diagnostic Trouble Code DTC P0401 translates to EGR Insufficient Flow and specifically affects the Exhaust Gas Recirculation (EGR) system. This system is integral to the vehicle's emission controls as it recirculates a portion of the exhaust back into the engine to lower harmful emissions and improve efficiency. In a Honda Civic from 2011 to 2015, the EGR valve is usually located on or near the intake manifold. Insufficient flow can lead to increased nitrogen oxide emissions and deteriorate engine performance. When encountering this DTC, it is essential to follow a systematic troubleshooting approach as outlined in the service manual. Always begin by documenting freeze data and reviewing general troubleshooting protocols for a comprehensive evaluation. The primary component affected by DTC P0401 is the EGR valve. This part is vital in managing the amount of exhaust gases that are rerouted back into the combustion chamber. By doing so, it reduces the formation of nitrogen oxides, NOx emissions, which are harmful to the environment. The EGR valve is typically situated near the intake manifold of the Honda Civic, making it relatively accessible for inspection and replacement if necessary. When there is insufficient flow in the EGR system, it may lead to higher temperatures and pressure within the engine, which can ultimately affect performance and fuel efficiency. Understanding the role and location of the EGR valve is crucial when diagnosing related issues in the vehicle's emission system. Several issues can trigger DTC P0401. First, a malfunctioning EGR valve could fail to open properly, resulting in insufficient flow. Over time, carbon buildup is common, which can obstruct the passages that the exhaust gases travel through, leading to poor performance. Additionally, poor electrical connections or loose terminals at the EGR valve and engine control module, ECM, can contribute to this issue. The ECM monitors and controls the EGR system. Thus, any interruptions in connectivity can lead to erroneous readings and ultimately trigger a DTC. Lastly, the system's sensors may exhibit failures that could also cause a miscommunication regarding EGR flow. Conducting a thorough inspection will help identify which specific component is causing the problem. When dealing with DTC P0401, several symptoms may become evident during operation. One of the most common indicators is poor engine performance, which could manifest as a hesitation, decrease in power, or rough idling. This symptom occurs due to the incorrect air-fuel mixture created when the EGR system is inadequate. Another notable issue is an increase in emissions, which can contribute to failing emissions tests, ultimately affecting the legality of vehicle operation in certain regions. The check engine light illuminating on the dashboard usually serves as the first alert to the driver that something is wrong in the vehicle's emissions control system. Overall, these symptoms accentuate the importance of timely diagnosis and repair to maintain both vehicle performance and compliance with emissions regulations. The first troubleshooting step for DTC P0401 involves checking the EGR valve functionality. Begin by turning the ignition switch to on-I without starting the engine. Clear any existing Diagnostic Trouble Codes, DTCs, using the Honda Diagnostic System, HDS. Next, start the engine and hold the engine speed at 3,000 RPM, ensuring there is no load on the engine, which means setting the automatic transmission to park, P, or neutral, N for automatics, and neutral for manuals. Continue holding this RPM until the radiator fan activates to ensure the system is under the best testing conditions. After this, conduct the EGR test using the HDS to evaluate whether the valve operates properly. If the test results indicate a normalized EGR function, proceed to step 2. If not, the EGR valve likely needs replacement. The second troubleshooting step concentrates on further diagnosing the problem through real-world conditions. Initially, you need to test drive the vehicle, ensuring the engine coolant temperature, as recorded by ECT Sensor 1, exceeds 158 degrees Fahrenheit, 70 degrees Celsius. Set the automatic transmission in drive or the manual transmission in 4th gear. During the test drive, maintain steady speed between 15 and 75 miles per hour for at least 5 seconds. Then further increase your speed to stay between 55 to 75 miles per hour for another 10 seconds. Following these speed tests, decelerate fully from speed while closing the throttle for 5 seconds. After completing this, observe the OBD status with the HDS for DTC P0401. If the status reads failed, you need to clean both the intake manifold EGR port and the EGR valve's passages using a throttle plate cleaner to potentially resolve the issue. In the third troubleshooting step, once the cleaning process is complete, you'll need to monitor the OBD status of DTC P0401 once again using the HDS. If the result indicates passed, your troubleshooting for this specific DTC is complete. However, if it says failed, you should review your cleaning work and ascertain no residual obstruction is affecting the system. If the status is executing, it suggests that the issue may be intermittent, and more driving is required until a definitive result emerges. Alternatively, if the status indicates out of condition, it means further testing conditions must be met before a proper evaluation occurs. During this stage, also examine the connections at the EGR valve and ECM for any signs of looseness or damage, as electrical issues can often lead to these types of error codes. After all necessary repairs and cleanings have been completed, it's critical to verify that everything functions as intended. Start by turning the ignition switch to lock 0 to ensure that all systems are powered down. Reconnect all necessary connectors to make sure that the EGR valve and ECM are receiving power properly. Then, switch the ignition to on and reset the engine control module, ECM, or powertrain control module, PCM, using the HDS. After this reset, you will need to perform the ECM PCM idle learn procedure, which allows the computer to recalibrate and relearn the idle characteristics of the engine. Finally, conduct the same test drive conditions described in previous steps to see if the OBD status indicates passed, confirming that the P0401 issue has been effectively solved. Preventive maintenance is essential in avoiding DTC P0401 and ensuring the longevity of your Honda Civics emission system. Regular inspections of the EGR system can help identify early signs of trouble before they escalate into larger, costlier repairs. It is also advisable to clean the EGR ports annually using a throttle plate cleaner to prevent the buildup of carbon and other residues that can lead to blockages. Additionally, monitoring the electrical connections around the EGR valve and ECM can prevent unexpected failures caused by loose or corroded terminals. By adopting these preventive practices, you'll enhance engine efficiency, reduce emissions, and prolong the functional life of your vehicle's essential components. In conclusion, DTC P0401 represents a critical malfunction within the EGR system, requiring timely and comprehensive diagnostics to rectify. Identifying and addressing the symptoms, potential causes, and conducting the recommended troubleshooting steps allows for effective repair solutions. Ongoing maintenance practices, like regular inspections and cleanings, ensure that the EGR system operates optimally, significantly reducing the likelihood of similar DTCs from appearing again. It's important for vehicle owners to remain proactive and engaged in maintaining their vehicle to ensure persistent performance, compliance with emission standards, and overall drivability. Ultimately, understanding the significance of the EGR system in reducing harmful emissions makes every effort to fix DTC P0401 beneficial for you and the environment. Please like and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.